Alright guys, welcome to workout number 4 out of 6 of UnScared weightlifting home workouts. Just like for the other workouts, all you're going to need is a stick, so that today you can focus on the snatch. Slightly different than what we had in workout number 1, so if you've done that one as well, it was also snatch work. We're going to have a bit of a different focus, a few different drills here. So let's take a look at Marloes here, because she's going to take us through today's warming up. She's going to start with a few squats, either with a stick on the back or air squat. Doesn't really matter because a stick usually weighs 200 grams or so. She's going to do 10 air squats for us. It's just a regular air squat. You might want to have a stick on the back or keep your hands on your head so your back is a bit more straight. But I wouldn't worry about details too much. What I want to see is weight on the whole foot, knees in line with the toes, and then you've at least made me very happy. After 10 repetitions, you're going to bring your stance in a bit. For a narrow stance air squat, how narrow are you going to be? Depends on how mobile you are. Marloes is freakishly mobile, so she's going to have her feet together. But it is, of course, completely fine if you just keep your feet a bit closer than you normally have in a squat. So play around with it a bit, just make sure it's closer than you normally have, and I'm going to be happy. Still, it's weight on the whole foot, bias to the heels, knees in line with the toes. After 10 repetitions, you're going to move out your feet into a sumo position. So that means your toes are going to be slightly more than normal. Wide stance, knees are still in line with the toes when she goes down. The exact position, I'll let you play around with that as long as it's significantly wider than your normal stance. So your groin is challenged more than it normally is in your squat. And of course, knees in line with the toes, weight on the whole foot. Once you have done all those reps, you're going to move on to the Cuban presses. That means you're going to grab it roughly in clean grip or slightly wider. Don't overthink the grip. You pull it up to your chest, you turn it over to your shoulders, and you press. And back down the same way. Yeah. Pull up, turn over, press. Down, turn over. So it's kind of like a really awkward, strict, clean into press movement. What's important is that you kind of challenge the shoulder girdle by this awkward position and this awkward position. So do that for 10 repetitions. After that, you put the stick back on your back. And you're going to do split squats into kick-ups. And you're going to alternate them. This is good. So you're going to, you can get the stick on the floor, you can get it on your back, whatever. Split squat into kick-up, 10 alternating reps. So she's going to sit back into a split squat and kick up that back leg. Stand, other leg, split squat into kick-up. This can be a fairly quick movement upward, so it's control down and actually kick up. Just don't pull a muscle, but other than that, you can move pretty quickly throughout this movement. Once you've done 10 alternating reps, so that's 5 on each side, you're either going to grab the stick from your back or from the floor, wherever you left it, for 10 Romanian deadlifts with a 1-second hold at the bottom. So you're going to be on the heels for this one. You're going to bend over, find hamstring stretch for a second, and go back up. If you're super mobile, just go down as far as you can with a straight back, don't overthink it. The knees are slightly relaxed. You're not going to squat down, but you are going to keep the knees nice and loose. Hold it at the bottom. If you can find a bit of stretch on the hamstrings, awesome. If not, don't worry about it for you super mobile people. 10 repetitions of that. And then you're going to move on to a lat stretch. Good. Now join Marloes for the lat stretch where you keep your palms up. So a supinated grip. You're going to get the stick overhead. Now you could either extend the back for mid-back stretches, but what we're going to do is we're going to make sort of a hollow position. She's going to go onto a bench. You guys can use a chair. You could do it standing, but it's way better with this chair or a bench. And now what she's going to do is she's going to stick her head down. But look at how round her back is. I want you guys to go full turtle mode in this. So she's not stretching the back as much here. She's stretching mostly the lats and the shoulder, upper arm area. You're going to hold that for 20 seconds. If it's too easy, just press the stick against your back. Push your head down, but whatever happens, keep this tight. I want to see a round back with this. Do that for 20 seconds. What you guys are going to do, as always at your own pace, is 2 more rounds of the exact same thing. So you're going to go throughout the same 4 movements. Just make sure you do it in a controlled fashion. No rushing, just make sure you stretch the muscles that need to be stretched. use all your joints throughout whole range of motion and so on. Don't overthink it. You guys will see the movements in the screen. Finish those for 2 more rounds before you join us for the next exercise. Press pause. Alright guys, once you are done with your warm-up, you're going to move on to some prep work for all the snatch drills. We're going to work on our bottom position in the snatch, which means the overhead squat, and how to get there fast. So we're going to start with 10 overhead squats. If you're not sure how the snatch grip works, remember, it's a wide grip, and if she stands up straight, the stick is going to be in the crease of the hips, not in the stomach, not in the leg, because then she has it too narrow or too wide. It's going to be in the crease of the hips. You bring it overhead, and whatever happens, it stays here over the base of the neck. She does not push the bar forward or try to push it backward. It stays over the feet. 10 overhead squats. And I want to see awesome looking reps. If you cannot do a super pretty rep with your knees in line with the toes and straight back, if you cannot stay on the heels, go less deep. Whatever happens, I want to make sure that every single rep looks awesome, even if it is less deep. Alright, looking good. Once you have done 10 overhead squats, you get this stick to your back. You're going to do a pressing drop snatch. So your feet are still in overhead squat position. You're going to pretend it's 100 kilos and you push yourself down as fast as you can. This is not about pushing the stick up, it is about pushing yourself down. So if I were to hold this here, see? She's not actually pushing the stick all the way up, she's pushing herself down. You want to get down and tight as fast as possible. When you're at the bottom position, lock your arms, lock that bottom position in, don't bounce onto your toes or whatever. Hold there, that's good. After that, you're going to do 10 drop snatches and you're going to start from your toes. So the stick is on your back, you're going to start on your toes and suddenly, boom! She's basically falling into that position. She wants to put her feet down as fast as she can and she wants to be able to lock the bar as fast as possible. Again, it's not about getting the stick up, it's about getting yourself down. This is the speed we need to see in every single one of your snatches from now on. And you're going to do this one for another 10 reps as well. Great. That's it. So, if you guys have joined in this, you guys are going to do one more round of all 3 variations. If you guys were just looking for now, you're going to do 2 rounds, obviously. So take a look at the movements that will be in the screen in a bit. Go through them at your own pace. Again, then join us for the next movement. Press pause. Alright guys, if you have done the first 3 movements, we're going to move on to the next 3. We're going to do some tall work. That means we're going to focus on the part where we guide the bar by the body as close as possible, kind of like lifting up your shirt. That's what we're going to practice for the next 3 variations. So look at Marloes here. She's going to do tall muscle snatches first. All she's doing is shrugging, pulling the elbows up, and getting that stick overhead. She doesn't have to do anything with her legs. If she does that weird little hop with the heels, that's completely fine. As long as the focus is on guiding the bar close to the body. Just think of showing off your abs. I mean, I would if I had them, but just pretend if necessary. Show your abs 10 times and be very aggressive in lifting up your shirt. After that, for 10 repetitions, she's going to do another 10, but she's now going to pull herself under the bar, stick, dowel, whatever. Exactly. Power snatch. So she's still pulling it up to her chest and suddenly, boom! She is under the bar in power snatch position. So she catches it pretty high. I don't really care if you move your feet here or not. Some people prefer to, some not. Just make sure that if you move your feet that you put them back into your starting position. And after 10 reps of this, you're going to move on to the tall snatch. That means you're going to do the same thing. You're going to be pulling on the bar all the way up to your chest. Only now you catch it all the way at the bottom. So what we were practicing before, the whole fast under the bar thing, you're going to pull up to your chest and do that fast under the bar thing you were doing before. Yeah, that's good. So she's pulling it up to her chest, teleporting down, and she's super consistent with it. Every single rep needs to look the same. If it does not, you need more practice. So 10 reps of each. So I'm assuming you guys joined her. That means that after this, you guys are going to get press pause and do another round of these 3 movements. If you did not, then you need to do your 2 rounds. And again, this is about doing hundreds and hundreds of reps simply to ingrain that technique. So don't skip out on the reps. Get to work, guys. Press pause. All right, so for the next few movements, instead of working from the floor, we're going to emphasize whatever happens above the knee to overhead. So that means we're going to work from the hang. For some people that's a bit hard, but as a rough guideline, whenever you're working from the hang, so from the air, think of being over the bar on the way down instead of being behind the bar, right? So we're going to show you guys with the first one. Grab your stick, join us for the hang snatch pull to hold. So when she goes down for the hang, she's over the bar, then she gets back up, and she pulls, and she goes up to the toes, and she holds it there for a second. As you can see, every time she goes down, she's over the bar. She's not sitting behind it, she's leaning over, and then she's pressing with the legs so she can actually make a pull. That's what you need to be doing in your hang. The balance is still on the whole foot. She's not going to go super onto the heels or on the toes. Only at the end do her heels come off the floor. So you're going to do this for 10 repetitions. Arms are straight, shoulders are back. Once she has done that for 10 repetitions, she's going to do 10 high pulls to hold. She's going to do the same thing over the bar, pull it up to the chest and hold it there for a second. Absolutely awesome. As you can see, she's properly balanced for the very simple reason she's not falling over. So if you're falling over when you're doing this, mind your balance. Think of pressing with the ball of the foot. So at the end, she's not leaning on her toes like a ballerina because it's going to hurt. She's going to press the ball of the foot through the floor while she is pausing. Once she has, oh, that's where she went on her toes. That's why she fell forward. Good. So when you've done that, you're going to do 10 muscle snatches from the hang. So it starts the same way, over the bar, back into the hip. That's it. She's still making the same pull. The only difference is instead of holding it in her pull, she turns it over into a catch position. Every single time, the stick stays close to her body. So I'm going to make her uncomfortable by standing here. And hopefully she's not going to hit me. Because if she does, that means you're whipping it out in front. And it needs to go close to your body. Remember, think of pulling up your shirt. You're going to do that for 10 repetitions. Once you have done those 3 variations, together with Marloes, as always, you're going to do an extra round. You're going to press pause and go through those 3 variations in a controlled manner. If you have a lot of issues with the hang position, maybe practice that paused for a bit. You know, you're just going to go super slow and feel out that hang position instead of going fast like Marloes did. Again, quality first. If quality is good, then you can start adding some speed in there. Press pause. All right, guys, for the last segment of today's workout, we have 3 more exercises. What we're going to do is work from the hang. Again, Marloes is going to show us from that hang position the high pull, 10 repetitions. No weird pause this time. She's just going to go down and pull it up to her chest and go back down. And back down. This is just some extra practice for timing in the hip. The stick goes into the hip every single time and then she brings it up to the chest. So make sure that when you're doing this along with her, every single time, you can see how she kind of lifts up her shirt every time. That's basically how close you want it every single time. 10 repetitions. After that, she's going to do 10 hang power snatches. So it's basically the same idea, except now you get under the bar. Ta-da, that's it. Same thing. You lean over the bar, go back into the hip, guide the bar by your body, catch it high. 10 times. Once you have done this for 10 repetitions, then we're going to go into today's end movement, which is 10 hang snatches. That's very good. And the difference between a power snatch and a hang snatch in this case, the same thing, you're just going to go all the way down. Sick. That's it. But every time that stick needs to stay close. So you pull it up to your chest before you go down. So I'm going to stand here again just as a little test. Is she hitting me in the face? No, she's probably doing it pretty well. Again, when in doubt, grab your dog or your kid or whatever, put them in front of you and test whether you're doing it right or not. Awesome. What you guys are going to do, once this video is over, is you're going to do at least 1 more round of that last thing. So the 10 high pulls, 10 power snatches, 10 full snatches. Ideally 2 rounds. And of course, feel free to do some extra practice. Just keep in mind, I cannot stress this enough, be strict about the movement, consistent, focused every single rep. Otherwise, it kind of defeats the point of this whole thing, right? Good luck with this workout.